Girls, we're back.
After a brief delay,
A little
a
hiatus.
little skip in the flow.
But do you know what you should not skip on is following us
Oh,
on Instagram.
she's too
Ooh.
smooth with it.
Hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, y'all follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube. The whole nine yards. If you're more of a visual learner, if you can absorb information better visually, then watch our YouTube. We
Yeah,
post everything on here but video format.
yeah. And I feel like facials are everything. Like you really got to see the expressions, you got to see the
Yes.
hands moving. You need
Mm-hmm.
to be here with us.
Yep.
Okay, so go to our YouTube. Okay, well, Brittany, how have you been, Queen? What are you, I don't know, like past couple of days, vibes good?
I'm sipping on tea. Today specifically, I was in a very good mood.
Oh,
No specific reason. I was just in a really good mood today.
love it. Just like woke
Yeah.
up on the right foot.
I did. I woke up not wanting to get out of bed, but once I did, and like once I got my day started, like it really wasn't bad.
Love it. How's the weather
Yeah.
there?
It is 40 degrees in the morning and 85 degrees in the afternoon.
It's like, yeah, hot. When you're in the sun, you're
Hotter.
actually sweating.
Yes. I'm going from turning the heat on to turning the AC on blast by the end
Yeah.
of the day, and it is infuriating.
Did you ever get your AC fixed? It
Oh,
like went out for a
yes.
period.
Yes. I got it fixed. Went out for 24 hours, and it was the worst 24 hours of my life. It was
I
awful.
know. You're like a solid like 62 in the room all the time.
Facts. Absolutely. With the fan on high. If I could add a window unit, I would. Like, I want my room to be, I want to
Oh
be
my gosh. No, if I could add a window unit, I would.
teeth chattering cold.
Actually waking up like with your little nose hairs frozen cold.
Oh my, I want to see my breath when I wake up in the morning. That's how cold I want it to
She
be.
literally sleeps with that fan on her, like one of those tall fans, like a 3 footer,
Yup.
directly at the. I will say it's like
Period.
I love to be extra cozy, and I think that's like the best
Hmm.
part of being cold is like you get to really snuggle.
I'm already looking forward to it.
It's so
I
good.
love it so much because my comforter is like kind of puffy, so it's like, it's just like, I love it. I'm already excited to get into bed.
Oh my gosh. Well, glad you had a good day.
What about you? How was your day?
Today I I feel like I had to do something important this morning.
Did you go to the med spa?
Oh, yes, that's what I did. I went to the med spa and I recorded a couple of treatments. Basically, it just depends on the schedule, like what we have booked. So
Mm.
today we did Procel, which is like microneedling, so like stabbing the face over and over again, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
A little Botox, a pumpkin facial. We have this, it smells like
Fun.
pumpkin spice, Brittany. It's
Ooh,
amazing.
I
It
love
has like
that.
nutmeg, cinnamon, like the whole
Oh,
thing. I
I
know.
love a good cinnamon scent.
I know.
Like a sweet
So.
cinnamon, not like a
Mm-hmm.
spice cinnamon, you know? Perfect.
And it's
Almost
on
like a
your
chai.
face, so
Oh,
you can like smell it the whole time, like the
oh, that's
senses. Oh yeah,
so
it was
nice.
so good.
I love that.
And then I recorded like two funny TikToks. Like I tried to do a blend,
Yeah.
and yeah, then I came home and I did some work for the other social media account that I run. I had to
Mm-hmm.
make a little bowl. It was actually my dinner. It ended up being perfect. It was just like a bowl with brown rice, avocado, corn, kidney beans, and like pulled chicken from Aldi. Have you tried it? You're an
Ooh, I
Aldi shopper.
have. It's good.
It's good,
It's
yes.
perfect. Yep.
It's so easy and it's better
It
than rotisserie
is.
because like or like fresh rotisserie because
Mm-hmm.
it lasts a little bit longer, you get more, like it's just and such a good price. I think it's like $6 or $7.
Yeah, like it's perfect. And it's just like the
And it's like a
perfect.
tub of it
It
almost.
is.
Yeah.
It's like a container about yay big. It's
Yeah.
maybe like yay big, I would say. But yes, I used it because my current hyperfixation is marry me chicken pasta, like
Ooh,
the
I've seen
Tuscan
that.
pasta. Oh my God, it's so good. So I keep making it all the time. Now that I know the recipe and I don't like have to do measurements, like I could just nail it every time.
Oh, love
It's
it.
just like a constant. And I was gonna make it recently, but then when I went in my fridge, I forgot to put the chicken in the freezer. So it had been sitting in the fridge, and I was like, the date was like a couple of days after sell by. So of course, naturally, I called my mom, and I was like, "Mom, can I eat this?" And she was like, smell it. If it smells a little rank, then no. But she's like, if it smells okay, then if it's been in the fridge, like, I don't see why not. So I was like, okay. So I took a smell, and it was not like chicken. I don't know what it was, but like the smell was just a little bit off. And I was like, I am not trying to risk getting food poisoning again. So I'm like, I'm all the way good. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, hard pass. I'm just going to
Toss
toss
it.
this. Yeah. So then I was like, deck on it. Like, what am I going to do? I've already started the noodles. Like, the noodles are boiling.
Yeah.
I was like, if I just need to get like a straight up regular pasta sauce, I will. But I'm a little disappointed. But then I remembered that I bought that container of pulled chicken,
So
and I
convenient.
used that instead, and it cut the time in half making this freaking pasta. It was perfect.
Seriously, Aldi's so clutch for that. I don't know another like comparison to that. I like Publix or like, or at least I haven't looked, but it's not all dressed up in sauce, which is amazing. It's just like straight up rotisserie chicken. Anyways, love letter to Aldi. I freaking
I just went grocery shopping yesterday at Aldi.
Ooh, what was like your
I
top three
know.
finds?
It was just like, it was all basic things.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't really there. Like, there were these chips that I almost bought, but then I decided not to because I was like, I'm not gonna, do, like go off the list too much. Because I'll always get everything on my list, and then I'm like, okay, if there's like one or two things that I think are like fun, then I'll grab them. But other than that, no. Like, I'm gonna stick to my list. But there were these chips, and it was like loaded baked potato flavored potato chips,
Yum.
and I was like, those look absolutely fantastic.
Yum. Little cheesy probably.
Yeah, and then the other ones were fried pickles with ranch
Ooh.
flavored chips.
Yum.
And I had the loaded baked potato in my cart until I got to checkout, and I was like, I don't need these.
Why are you so good? I wish you tried them.
I
I want
know.
to know. I'm dying.
I know. In my head, I was like, Brittany, you don't need these. I even skipped over. I'm so like proud of myself, but I also want to bang my head against the wall. I skipped out. They put out their Christmas stuff already.
Uh-uh.
And they have the most darling little plates and serving bowls.
Aw.
They're so cute, and I'm so mad at myself for not at least indulging. They were like $3 a piece, and I'm like,
Oh,
I know.
perfect
I'm like,
price.
dude.
Perfect.
I'm like, great, because now everybody and their mother is gonna see that and go in it and buy it, and I'm like, fine, whatever. I'll just miss out on the Christmas plates and bowls this year.
Are they like known for not really restocking? Is it like a
Well, that's true.
Get it while you
I didn't really
can?
think about that. But every time that I go to an Aldi, I've never seen an organized miscellaneous aisle.
Oh no.
Not once. I see packages ripped open, things thrown helter skelter, but I also see like actual devices.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't remember what it was, but I saw it and I was like, did he sell that? Like, how is this only $20?
Oh my
You
gosh,
know what I
like
mean?
a kitchen device?
Something like that. Yeah, I think it was like an air fryer or something.
Oh, slay.
And it was like $20. I'm like,
Okay.
if I didn't already have an air fryer, I'd low key buy it just to test it out.
I saw they had some really cute pillows and I was almost tempted to buy them. Like they were Halloween's, so I bet they have like cuter ones for Christmas too.
Right.
But they were like $5, like competing with Dollar Tree, dollar store prices
Yup.
almost.
Yup.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
So I just made that little bowl, filmed a video, edited it, posted it, and then what else did I do? I think I tried to make myself a little snack, or Brittany saw.
I
I
did.
grabbed my little thing of peanut butter. I grabbed some Oreos. Now, granted, this was a long shot because I've had these Oreos in my cabinet for like, we're going on a month. So,
A month no, in reality, a month is really not that long.
okay, yeah, and you would think, but I went to, well, first off, I bit into one. It was soft, and then I even like split it in half on camera with Brittany. It was actually like Play-Doh. Like
Yeah.
it was so nasty.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, so I think I'm gonna have to make myself like sweet treat
Something like
after.
a little lava, like you do a lot of mug cakes or whatever.
Yeah, I should do one of those. I
Do one of
actually
those.
think there is salmon like rotting in my fridge. And when you mentioned the not
Perfect.
putting the chicken in the fridge after like a certain period of time,
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about that. And that salmon's been in my fridge for like weeks at this point.
Oh, you gotta throw it
You
away.
think that's what it is? Why in my
Oh,
mind am I like, oh, it's packaged, like it's gonna be
you
good.
gotta throw it away. You gotta toss it. I hate to break it
But
to
and
you.
I just was away for a week, so it's been sitting there alone
It's
really
been
for an extra week.
marinating. You need to
My
you need to toss it. All those store pesticides. You gotta toss it.
It was honestly a long shot as well that I even bought it because I've never cooked salmon in
I was
my
about to
actual
say,
life.
I don't think I've ever heard of you eating seafood. Like,
No,
honestly, maybe a fish, but I don't think I've ever confidently seen you eat any other meat besides chicken
right, or turkey at Thanksgiving.
or turkey. Yes,
But like fish, I can say I've never cooked fish in my entire
that's
life.
so funny. If you
But
make a good salmon, though,
that's okay. So that was the point, was that it was supposed
heard.
to be with like rice and seaweed. It's basically the Emily Mariko thing.
Oh, yum. Yes.
But I think like a salad version of it, like, but it still had rice. I don't know. It was something that I had saved. It was an Instagram video. I
Uh-huh.
was set on making it,
Yup.
and sure enough, I forgot about it immediately.
That's okay.
So yeah, I need to probably throw that out because it smells fully vile in my fridge,
Perfect.
as you can imagine.
I make to help with that because I do this thing where I buy so much fresh produce and I buy meats, I buy everything, and then it sits in my refrigerator. And then I like, because it's one of those things that it's like I just make a list and I say, oh, I'll figure something out. Like I'll figure something, like I'll buy this just so I can have it,
Yeah.
but then not remembering that it goes bad in like a week and a half. Or like, oh, maybe a week, depending on the sell by date of the chicken or whatever meat.
Yeah.
So it's like I've started planning my meals.
All right.
So
Like meal prepping almost, or just like day by
just
day.
just like day by day. I'm not a big meal because like leftovers for me, like I guess this might be a hot take. I'm not a big leftovers person.
Yeah.
It merely just depends on what it is because nothing. Okay, literally, it's gonna make me gag. So when you take like, for example, like pasta or something home and it's like it's a little bit warm and you put it in the to-go container and then the condensation gets on it. So then, when you take it out of the fridge the next day, you open it and like you could just like smell it and then like some of the water and like the cold food gets on my hands. I just like my whole body just like convulses. I'm like ew, I just
Oh
can't.
my gosh.
But then like when you like, I guess it might just be like pasta specifically, but like when you put the pasta into a bowl and it just like comes out in this big like clump into the bowl before
And
you
it's like,
microwave
dunk.
it, yeah, it's just like that, like quite literally makes my skin crawl. So I don't
That's
know what is
understandable.
so like. Maybe it's just like the leftovers like ick that I have, but I can't. I like the meal prepping, the multiple containers of the same meal every day. Like I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot do it.
I can do leftovers. Like, I'm probably always going to take it to go. Just like on principle. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take it to go. But after day one, I'm probably not going to touch it. Unless it's like pasta or something that just kind of like reheats well. Like a sandwich, like that has one day in my fridge
Yes.
before I'm like, I'm throwing this away.
Yep.
Salad, probably one day. I don't like soggy lettuce. Like,
No.
Yeah.
See, if I get a salad, I'm gonna commit to it.
yeah. Oh, you're right. You have to eat it in one go.
Yes. So last night I made stuffed peppers.
Ooh, what'd you stuff them with?
Oh, so good. I did ground beef, jasmine rice, onions, garlic, and then when I cut like the tops of the bell peppers, I like diced a little bit of that and sauteed it all.
Yum.
And then I didn't have tomato sauce. I forgot tomato sauce. So I had tomato paste in the fridge, so I just used a little dash of tomato paste, and it was superb.
Delicious.
Superb. And then tonight I made myself a ribeye, mashed potatoes, and some mixed veggies.
Okay, on the grill? What? A ribeye?
On
Like,
the stove? I don't own a grill.
I don't know anything about red meat. I'm like, do you have to go outside?
I mean, low key, like a grill makes it taste better, but your girl doesn't have a grill. But I got, you know, I want to start. This is so random, but over the summer, like the spring and the summer, I want to start growing my own herbs.
Ooh,
I
cute.
want to do like I want to do like thyme, rosemary, basil, mint, like I want to have my own little like herb garden because like tonight I was basting my steak in with garlic and butter, but I didn't have any time and I'm like I'm not going to go to the store and spend like $6 to $7 for a couple little sprouts of thyme. Imagine me just being like, "Oh, I need some mint with this. Let me just go in my herb garden
Yeah,
and just like snip snip a little bit." You know?
definitely. And they definitely have something on Amazon that's like a 5-pack. Like it probably comes with the 5 basics, like basil, mint, thyme.
For
Like,
sure.
oh my gosh, and that would just elevate
Cilantro.
every cilantro. I
Cilantro.
personally I personally love cilantro. I feel like I heard there's like some genetic or like some mutation. Like to you it either tastes like soap or you love it.
I love it.
That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. I'm
I
so
love it. Yeah, I don't
hashtag
taste the
blessed
soap.
to not have
Seriously.
the soap gene for real.
Yeah, but if you grew your own, I support it fully. That'd be so cute.
I appreciate that. I want to.
Speaking of the stuffed peppers, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see how you react to this.
Oh no, I'm
Before we got
scared.
on here, I saw a recipe where this woman was like easy stuffed peppers, but she did tuna and baked it. Would you ever?
Prison.
Yeah, no. I immediately was like, ooh, please don't do tuna.
I'm
I don't
not.
know. I'm not a hot tuna. I'm really not a cold tuna girl either. But
I'm
like
not a-
baked, I don't think I'm tuna at all.
No. No.
I've never been with buying the tuna packets like the Starkist and like eating those as
I was
lunch.
literally about to say Starkist will never see me coming.
It's a complete aversion.
never.
It's a complete
Same thing with canned chicken.
yes, except for in rare instances where I don't know it's canned chicken.
Valid.
Like I feel like most people use their chicken salad. I was thinking about the lake this past weekend. It was so freaking good. I was like dying for her to tell me the recipe. Sure enough, canned chicken. I was like, okay,
Wow.
maybe I can get with this.
I just remember, I don't know why I bought canned chicken, but I bought it for something
Yeah.
to use. And as soon as I opened the can, I gagged because I'm like, the smell is horrific. It looks like cat food.
Yes, it's like pink almost.
Like wholeheartedly looks like cat food, and it's like marinating in this like jelly-like substance, what is the word? Gelatinous? Is that the word?
A
Substance?
little, yeah.
Something like that. And I'm like, this is actually my worst possible nightmare. Actually,
Yeah.
speaking of, I went to Olive Garden recently.
Okay.
I was not hungry. I was not super hungry, but my mom and Ryan were going and they were like, "Hey, Britt, do you want to go?" I was like, "Sure." I was like, "You know what? I'm just going to get the soup and salad deal." I'm like, "That sounds good. Unlimited soup and salad. I'll take it." Everybody and their mother raves about the chicken and gnocchi
Oh, yeah.
soup. I didn't think it was that good. I'm not going to lie to you. Because
Really?
like, the chunks of chicken were the exact chunks of chicken that I had when I opened the container of canned chicken. And I just had like, as soon as I put it in my mouth and felt the texture, I had like a visceral reaction because I was like, this is canned chicken. Like I understand
like
it's Olive Garden.
squares, like
Yes.
cubes.
Like little chunks. I'm like,
Oh.
okay, how hard is it to go to Aldi and get like the pulled chicken? How
Like-
hard is it to buy a rotisserie chicken and shred it with some forks? Like, come on.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm like, daggone, dude. You're probably paying more for like profit margins for cans than you are with actual fresh chicken. They gotta have some sort of case deal for chicken. They gotta have it. If there's case deals for alcohol, there's case deals for chicken. Guarantee it.
You would know. Yeah, I've never had it, but I've seen it. Like, I just know it as their most popular soup because people are always talking about it. You're right. That's so disappointing.
It wasn't bad, but if
Yeah.
they didn't have the chicken in it, it would have been 15,000 times better.
I just saved a like at-home version of it on my Instagram. I'll send it to you. You can
Please
try
do.
it.
And if you try it before me, let me know how it is.
Okay, I will. I've already like noted to myself I'm gonna make stuffed peppers this week.
So
Yes,
good.
that's such a good idea. Get some
You should.
cheese on top.
What I did is like I did a little layer of cheese on the bottom. I put
Mm.
a tiny scoop of the mixture, put another layer of cheese, put a little more of the mixture. So it was almost like a layered moment. Perfection.
Mm.
Because it like the cheese almost like acted as like a with along with the rice, it acted as a binder to keep it together. And it was absolutely stunningly perfect. I'm frustrated because I literally just got an email with an order and it's 3.5 hours past cutoff.
No. Shame on them. Tisk
Anyway,
tisk.
that's so frustrating.
What does that mean for you? You have to do it right now?
No,
Oh.
that they're not getting it until next week.
Oh, I see.
That they're gonna have to wait until Friday of next week to get it.
Are they
That's the
gonna be
only.
mad at you?
No, it's not my fault.
Oh.
I just have to relay the message and be like, sorry, you missed your cutoff
Sucks
by
to suck.
3.5 hours, Queen. Don't know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you.
Oh
Okay,
my gosh. Okay.
have you seen this video? Because we talked about concert etiquette forever ago. Complete 180
Yeah.
turn, but I just looked at my notes and I saw my little bullet point and it made me giggle. Do you know the you know the singer of I can't remember his name. I think his name is like Benson something. It's like these beautiful
Benson
things
Boone,
that
yes.
I got, please. That guy. So, have you seen the video of him humbling this fan?
No.
I was in tears. I was laughing so hard.
Show me to me, please.
Show Rachel, show it to me, please. So
Do you have it on hand? Or
I
should look
don't
it up?
know, but let me tell you in context first.
Okay.
So there was this girl, I'm assuming it's a girl, this fan in the audience who again, like I feel like concert etiquette is out the door. People are like screaming at the top of their lungs instead of singing along. They're screaming and screeching every lyric. Apparently, there was this girl in the audience and she was screaming I love you over and over and over and over. Like, I love you. Oh, I love you. Like screaming it
Okay.
until he finally stopped and he was like and he literally like stopped what he was doing and because like he could hear her because she was like at least like 2 or 3 rows back from the front. So then he literally stops the entire show and looks over at her and he was like, I hear you. He was like, look at me. And she was about to take her phone out. He was like, don't take your phone out. He goes, you and I. He was like, you and me. He was like, you and I. Like, look me in the eye. He was like, we're locked in. And she kept like, and she would look down. He'd be like, don't get your phone. He's like, this is between you and me. He was like, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to let it all out. He was like, and then after that, he was basically like, then just like, be quiet. Like, be quiet. Like, just like, be quiet.
In front of the whole concert?
And for like, literally, he's on stage in the microphone saying this to this girl because she is screeching.
I would have to pass away.
And he was like, I'm going to give you the count of 3 to say I love you, to get it all out of your system.
Uh-huh.
He was like, I hear you, I love you, but like, basically. So then as soon as he said 1, 2, 3, he gave her like 5 seconds and she was like, she sounded like she was like screeching in pain almost.
Are you serious? She
Of,
didn't
like,
even chill out?
no.
And be like, I love you. Like,
No. She took those 5 seconds and just shrieked and was like, oh my God, I love you, oh my God. You have to find the video.
almost like she's having like a panic attack.
Yes,
like
like
she
she's-
can't control
Yes. He's like, just breathe. He's like, get it out of your system, breathe, and just like let everybody else around you enjoy the show. He's like, you're
Oh.
screeching.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You have to find it. It is the funniest video.
Benson Boone.
Like Humble's fan or something like that.
Humble fan. Oh.
I hear you. No, I know. I heard it. 15 times. How about this, okay? Okay, we're gonna do something. You and me. Listen. Listen. You ready? You're gonna. Hey, no phones. Look at me. You and me. We're gonna do something real quick. You're gonna say I love you one more time. 5 seconds. Ready? Go. I'll take your glasses. That's your 5 seconds. Now I've heard it. Now I know. Now, we don't have to say that again, do we? No. The answer's no. Okay? This is really this song. If you want to scream, you scream these lyrics. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Imagine hearing that next to you.
My
for an
throat,
entire
I
concert.
felt physical pain when she screeched "I love you." Like that had to hurt.
I told you. Yeah. Like quite literally screeched at the top of her lungs.
Oh my gosh.
Just
Sorry. Like I'm trying not to be mean right now, but like that's embarrassing as
It is.
freak. Like
Yes.
get yourself together.
Literally. Like that is quite literally insane. I saw another video today, which is why I wrote it down. Because there was this girl, like Sabrina Carpenter's on tour right now, her Short and Sweet tour. And apparently this girl was in the stands, like, you know, was in her section. And there were these two girls that were, like, I can't remember if they were, like, in front of her or behind her or whatever, who were screaming and screeching every single lyric. And she was like, they were recording each other with the flash on.
Oh.
And, like, they were just being incredibly obnoxious instead of just like enjoying the concert. And like, you know, and the girl was even like, I understand that you're excited, but like you have to be mindful of the other people around you. Like you have to be considerate of the people around you. Like that is quite literally insane. And she put video evidence at the end and I was like, there's no way it was that bad. It was that bad. It was that bad.
That's the thing is like you can do whatever you want, but you have to think about how annoying it would be if everyone acted like you.
Yes.
Like if all of you were, okay, I can do whatever I want and acted that way, you would not enjoy the concert. And the whole point of it is to like really, I don't know, like obviously I record concerts and stuff, but like to a degree, like take some time, listen, and just like soak it all in.
Right.
Don't be crazy.
It like makes me apprehensive, like a little apprehensive to go to concerts. Because of the amount of horror stories that I've seen. I'm like, they're better than me. Because if I had some person screeching in my ear for longer than 15 minutes, I'm saying something.
Yeah, it's, yeah, you have
Like,
to put an end to it at some point.
You have to be like, hey, be quiet, please. I saw another video. Oh my God. It made me laugh so hard. It was like a little mean, but it was, it one of those videos that just like made me cackle. It was Billie Eilish. Have you seen the videos of her doing like the loop thing?
Oh yes, where she like builds the song.
Yes. So she'll like harmonize with herself, whatever, and then like
Yes.
build up to the song. And she tells everybody to like be quiet.
Right.
So there was somebody on, so like there were people recording her. It was like the floor. It was like maybe like 4 rows back. Like they were super close. And she was like in the middle and like everybody was like, you could hear a pen drop. Like everybody was silent. And you know, she's like in the middle of doing the loop. And then you just hear this girl go, I love this song. And this, like without any hesitation, in a matter of like a millisecond, this dude looks at her and goes, shut the F up. And people are like, oh my God. And he goes, you too. And they were like, you don't have
That
to
is so like Mean Girls coded, like
literally.
Regina George, like shut up. I have to find that.
It's
too.
like, it's hilarious. It's just like, I don't know, man. Concert etiquette is just like completely and utterly out the window. It's so bad.
Seriously.
It's so bad.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we just can't act that way. Like simply.
No, you can't. Like,
Did I find it?
you know, was it that one?
I think so, yeah.
Did she go, I love this song?
Well, maybe I don't know. Okay, I just heard him go, shut the up.
It was like it was one of those like people didn't start cheering. Like it was dead silent, and this girl just goes, "I love this song."
Yeah, you have to send it to me
If I
after.
can, if I can,
I
think
love
I
a good
liked
like
it,
immediate
but
humble, like someone who
yes,
just like is on it.
like shut up,
Yeah.
be quiet. It's like the Beyonce when it's like everybody on mute, and then like that one person
Yeah.
starts to scream. I
You
can't.
just have to respect it. Like we just have to act right in those moments.
Yes, like the mentality of the I spent the money. I can act however I want
Crazy.
with no consideration of other people.
That's the thing,
like
is it's
could not be me.
consideration. Like, could you imagine if
Yes.
everyone had that IDGAF attitude? Like, it would annoy
Right.
you as well. Like, think of
Yes.
others.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, we're such like boomers. But same way we've talked about the movie theater. Like, please do not be
Yes.
recording on Snapchat, posting up in the movie theater with the flash on.
Right. Like, please put your phone away.
Please have some decorum.
You're at the movies. Like,
You're
I
at
think
the movies, act like it.
you could live without your phone for 2 hours. It
I
is not that
know.
deep. If you need to use your phone that bad, then get up and go in the other room.
I saw a video today, and it was like a wellness account or something, but it was like, stop bringing your phone to the bathroom, stop taking your phone to the kitchen, stop sitting like in your car on your phone for an hour. And I was like, I felt so convicted. I was like, and it said it's okay to be bored. Like, it's okay to just like not be doing something or watching something.
Nope.
I'm full on iPad kid at this point.
I was literally, that is the exact same thing that I was thinking. I'm like, I am full blown iPad kid.
And with this thing, like, I'm sticking my phone to every surface.
Literally
It's
in the
sickening.
shower, I'm like, bop.
Boop,
And
like I look forward to it.
me too.
Can't
I'm
wait.
like, my shower scrolling time.
Okay, I'm not a scroller. I'm a watcher. Like, a Real Housewives is blaring while I'm in the shower.
I love that. See, like, if I find a video and it's like, this is going to be a long one, I'm like, pause, get in the shower, post it up.
We need a good, like, worldwide takeover. Like, who the F did I marry? Like, we need one of
Yes.
those series again. Someone
We
sacrifice your trauma.
do. Oh my God, that was so
That
good.
like gripped the nation. Like, she
did.
was on GMA. Like,
That's quite literally insane.
just a good series. If anyone can provide, please let us know.
Honestly, please and absolutely thank you. I have another TikTok thing. Speaking of relationships, have you seen, I want to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
If you haven't seen the video, I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to try and find it on TikTok. I'm going to play it for you, and then you give me your opinion.
Okay.
Have you seen the video of this girl being like, my best friend and my boyfriend, how they interact with each other?
No.
Oh my God. Now I have to find it. Because people are very much like very one-sided or very much not.
Okay.
Girl best friend. Let me see if I can find the video. I really hope that I can. I should have had this on deck.
I love a live reaction.
Oh my God, I should have had this on deck. I feel like I need to put the Jeopardy music over this.
I'm just, doing my thing, watching my own video, per usual.
I love
the
that.
worst. I just posted that bowl on the pediatric account. It has 1 like, guys. So like,
Hey,
get
I
over
love
there
that.
and show some support.
Okay, I cannot find the video and I don't know what to search.
No.
I know.
Can you search the title? All right, what should we talk about in the meantime for
I
this
know.
little intermission?
I know. I want to find it so
I know,
bad.
because once you start looking, it's so hard to stop. I am constantly throughout the day getting on my phone, getting completely sidetracked, and then having to like fully take 30 seconds and be like,
Yes.
who was I about to look up? Or like, what was I about to complete? What task?
Because like, okay, hold on.
I need to be more intentional about, I guess I'll just chat about what we were talking about.
Yeah, please.
About really though, like not taking my phone to the bathroom with me, like just going in the kitchen and being, I don't know, I think it's just the fact that it's silent. I just hate when it's just silent. I like to have something on, podcast, a show.
Yes,
It's just who I am.
for sure. Like I'm like quite literally, I found it.
Yes!
I found it. 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 Okay, cool. I don't need to play the sound for you, but just like the actual video.
Oh, okay.
So, from the beginning.
Okay.
So, like, it's not the full video, but
Okay,
like...
DM it to me.
Oh, wait. I think I found the original video.
Because it's kind of pixely and I want to, like...
I found the original video. I'm watching it. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yup.
What's the caption?
It's like my favorite animal is my best friend arguing with my boyfriend.
Oh. Okay, just DM it to me. Because I can't... It's, like, all
Is it,
pixely.
like, super blurry? Okay.
Yes. Wait, I feel like I'm missing their facial expressions. Because is that what it's about?
Yes. I will send it to you. And be like, this is... Okay, here it is. Maybe. Is that the video I just... Yeah, I just sent it to you.
Okay, here we go.
Pull it up and watch it, girl.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't want to say it, but I can see her like being a little. I don't know. It's just something in her eyes.
Man.
It's just something in her eyes.
It's the like, you gotta get the look down. Like
Yes.
the flirty look. Because if it was like my actual like best friend's boyfriend, I'm like,
Yeah.
ew, don't talk to me. But it's like the, it's like the,
Mm-hmm.
like
It's
the
that
flirt,
like she's trying to be flirty and cute.
it's the, literally, if anybody that called themselves my best friend looked at my man like that, I'm not a jealous person. I'm not. Because I know that at the end of the day, my boyfriend would literally lay his life down for me.
Yeah.
And he would, like, I was telling Sophia before we started recording, literally last night, we were FaceTiming and we shared our screens, and he went through his entire camera roll, and his entire camera roll is either pictures of him and I or screenshots of selfies that I've sent him.
Green flag.
His entire camera roll. Either that or pictures of cars for work, because he sells cars.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm like, but at that point, like, it wouldn't even be jealousy. It would be like, why are you looking at my man like that? You know what I mean?
I know. I see it. Yeah.
Ugh, I'm just like, that video made my blood boil for that girl. And that girl's like,
Dang.
no, like, defending her, like, it's not like that. I'm like, girl, that girl wants, the second that you break up, keep your eye out on her. That's all I have to say.
I don't know why. I feel like it's just something in her eye. Just like was a gut instinct. I'm
Yes.
like, she's doing, I don't know.
It's the subtle smirk.
Yes.
It's the flirty eyes. It's the facial expression.
It's just like if you know, you know.
Uh-huh.
You're right. It's like you're either on one side or the other. It seemed like all the comments were kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Are you a jealous person?
I don't think so. I mean, I like to think I'm chill in my relationships. I've never, well, I don't know, like one of my relationships, I was definitely like, oh my gosh, I was just dramatic. It was high school. So it was when everyone had spams too, like fake Instagrams, like your second one, and like almost, what's it called? Like subtweeting, but like sub-posting and like all that.
Yeah.
Like with who's man and girl and like whatever.
Freaking Finsta.
So yeah, so maybe then I was like maybe like a little jealous, but I don't think now that I'm older I've had, and no one's really given me a reason to be, which is the same way. Like, if your man is willing to give you his phone, he's probably not cheating on you. But if
Facts.
he even flinches,
Goodbye.
there's just, like, I can't trust you.
No, and it's not even like my rule is that like you have to give me your passcode and I have to give you mine.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like,
it's just like, if I ask for it, can I have it?
yeah, exactly. Like my face is programmed into his phone.
Oh, okay. One step further.
Like and it's been like that since from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because one day he literally just handed me his phone. He goes, "Put your face in it." I was like,
You're in.
"Why?" He was like, "Just in case you ever need it." He was like, "So you don't have to type in my passcode. Just like your face is in it." I'm like,
Green flag. I was
that makes a
telling
lot of
Brittany,
sense.
I've been seeing the TikToks of the guy who comes up to the couple, and I gotta say they're entertaining AF. Like,
Oh, yeah, for
every time I
sure.
see one, I'm like, oh yes, like.
Yeah. You
And
like
this-
everyone, so the algorithm will keep pushing them. Amazing.
Literally, this guy will go up to a couple in Walmart and basically say, "Hey, are y'all together?" Yes. How long y'all been together? 2 years. It varies, whatever.
Right.
Do y'all look at each other's phones? And they'll yes or no, and it's like, would you be okay if he looked at your phone right now? And in that instant, like, you know who's about to be a dirty dog. They're actually very. I'll link some in the caption of our YouTube if you really want to go watch one.
Yeah, because
There's
they're
some
like
good ones.
sometimes they'd be like, yeah, they can look through it, like thinking that they're not going to find anything, or like they'll go, yeah, and it's like, why'd you hesitate? Why are you hesitating? What are you hiding?
I know, and in like the middle of Walmart, always.
Right?
Like, oh gosh.
I'm telling you, one of my number one fears is being approached by a TikTok interviewer.
Oh, I would say no. Would you say no?
Absolutely not. Yeah, I'd be like, no. The second that I see somebody walking around with a tiny mic and having somebody behind them with a cell phone, I'm turning around and walking in the opposite direction.
The tiny mic. Seriously.
Because 9 times out of 10, I have my headphones on, listening to something while I'm walking. Like, all the time, I have my AirPods in.
In the
at
store?
all the time.
I never got to do that.
I hate raw dog in a store. Like,
I
if
only raw dog the store.
oh, you gotta put headphones in, and I always do the thing where like I put my hair behind my ears to show that I have headphones in. I don't hide them, because then if like somebody tries to, because there was a time that I was in Uptown Cheapskate actually, and I was listening. I can't remember what I was listening to, but I was listening to something, and I thought that I heard something, and my hair was down, and it was like this, like covering my ears, and I thought that I heard something, and I was like. Did I just hear something? And so I took my headphone out and I turned around and this girl was like looking at me. And I said, I'm so sorry. Like I had my headphones in. And I was like, did you say something? And turns out she was talking to me. But I mean, it was a fun reaction. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I had my headphones in. And she's like, it's fine, whatever. So after that, I always keep my hair behind
That's
my
smart.
ear. But my headphones are always in. Always.
My gosh, I've never thought to do that. Like, wow. Like,
I
even
take them-
grocery store. Like,
Every single store. If I'm by myself, every store, headphones are in.
wow,
But then
okay.
as soon as I get up to like the checkout line, I take them out.
Yeah.
Because I'm like obviously trying to be respectful. So it's
Right.
like when I'm like walking through the store and I'm listening to something, and then like my phone will ring, I'll just like answer and I'll talk through my AirPods or whatever, and then it'll go back to what I was listening to.
Amazing.
So it's legitimately perfect.
Do you have the ones with the squishy tips or the like old AirPods?
The squishy ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What? So, why?
No, I just feel like I prefer the other ones, like the old ones. I was just wondering where you stood. I feel like people either like they like the one design or the other design.
I honestly like both, because I had the one, like the older ones, and then I thought that I lost them because I could not, they were dead. So obviously like the Find My, my devices wasn't on, so I couldn't ping it or whatever. So I was like, oh my God, like, I've lost my AirPods. Like, this is ridiculous. And I think I had like a flight coming up or something. So then I just like on a whim decided to go to Target, and they were on sale for like $150. So I went to Target and I bought a pair of the newer ones. And so I was using those. And then lo and behold, I found my old ones. So now I have a backup in a regular pair
There you go.
ready to go just in case. But Yeah, I always put AirPods in when I'm in the store. Whenever I go into a store and I don't have my AirPods, I'm like, oh, this sucks. Cause like you just like I feel like with me, I can just every singular, maybe it's my ADHD, but like every singular little sound, my mind picks up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single sound. So it's like my worst possible nightmare, and like parents, please don't take offense by this, but if your kid is screeching, that's my worst possible nightmare. And I'm not
Right.
blaming the parents. I'm not being trying to be hateful. But it's like when your kid is having like a full blown tantrum and like screeching to the top of their lungs, like I start sweating and I need to leave, kind of thing. So like I keep my headphones in and I listen to, I'm not gonna lie, I listen to ASMR when I'm in the grocery store.
What kind?
I just like very much like very calming because there's different ASMRs that I listen to depending
Yeah.
on where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because if I'm like in the store, then I listen to something like not necessarily fast paced, but like just very much almost like when you get your like
Oh, you're
things like
listening to
that.
sounds, not stories.
Sounds, yeah. So like, when I'm in the grocery store and like I can feel myself getting a little anxious because there's like a lot of sounds and like there's a lot of people and like I just, I always listen to something, and ASMR calms me down. So it's like I'll listen to that, and then I listen to different ASMR when I try to go to sleep.
Oh, so you're like walking around in the grocery store listening to like tippy taps.
Little tippy taps and little
This
whispers.
is like so
Yeah.
fascinating to me. I thought you were listening to like motivational. Like, is
No.
that the one that you use to go to sleep? Or it's like when
I
they're like whispering compliments to you basically, or like encouraging you.
Yeah, the positive affirmations.
Yeah.
I listen
Like the starfish and
Yes.
aquamarine, like they're just like giving you little compliments.
little compliments all throughout the day. No, I listen to positive affirmations when I like to listen to like very slow ASMR when I try and go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Because like the second that it starts getting chaotic, it's like my brain wants to focus on, it's almost like the RPMs of like the way of like how fast they talk.
Right.
So it's like if they're talking super fast, or if they're just talking at like a normal pace or whatever, then my brain will just like pick up on the details that they're trying to. That's why I can never fall asleep with the TV on.
Okay.
Whenever I would go to a sleepover, I would wait until my friend would fall asleep and then I'd turn the TV off
I love the TV on.
because I like cannot physically sleep with the TV on.
Right. Yeah.
Because then my brain is like, even if I've seen it like 15,000 times, like my brain
watch.
is hyper focusing on what's on the TV, so then I have to watch it, and I hate it.
It's
So-
amazing how you can like figure out how your mind works.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yes. And so
There
now
you
I'm like,
go.
when I go in the store and I get anxious in the store, I just like whip my headphones in, and I'm just
Tippy
listening to
tap.
some little tippy taps and some little whispers,
love it.
and being like, "You're doing great." I'm like, "You're right, I am."
Okay, I might have to try it. I was gonna maybe go to Goodwill tomorrow. So
It's so therapeutic, dude. Just
Yeah.
putting your headphones in and just like listening to something that you want to listen to without anybody stopping you.
yeah.
And you're just like, especially Goodwill, because I feel like you have to really take time to go to Goodwill and like rummage through everything. So it's like having something calming to hear while you're doing that to like kind of like regulate your emotions and everything. It's perfect. Highly, highly recommend.
You're so right. I'm gonna
Ugh.
listen to Lana Del Rey and walk around.
Amazing.
I can't wait.
It's I
What?
like 10 out of
did I
10
th-
would recommend. Yes.
How have I never thought? You might have just changed my life.
I have like very specific ASMR artists. Like if I know that I need to go to sleep, I have a list.
Amazing.
But then if there's some people that I'm like, I like their voice, but like I couldn't fall asleep to you, I also have a list.
I had a story that I listened to a bunch, and then it got moved up to like the tier that you have to like pay for on it was like relaxed melodies. That's what I had. I had relaxed
Oh, I love
melodies.
that. I love
Yeah,
that.
and I had them when they like when everything was pretty much free, and over the years I kept locking it down, locking it down. There was a story about an underwater city, and it was just like the most perfect. It was like this guy and him and his dad. This guy, he was like a teenager, I don't know. They were the window cleaners, so they like basically just spent the day like cleaning a little bit. It was like the cutest little like underwater city, and the cars were like floating in the air, and like everything was just like a little abnormal and like cute, and I to sleep in 5 minutes.
I love that.
That okay, you've inspired me as well. I need to make a list of all the things you've inspired me. The bell peppers, then the story time sleep, sleepy story time. I don't know, whatever.
Because there's different styles of ASMR that like keep me up and that I like, and then there's some that I just like will chronically not like at all.
Okay, wait, send me some of your faves.
Oh, I will. I'll send you
Please.
I'll send you my grocery store ASMR, and then I'll send you my sleep.
Okay.
Because
So
they're
excited.
all perfect, and I love them. I just found recently, it's so funny because a lot of ASMR artists that I listen to are mostly female,
Yeah.
but then I just recently found a guy
Okay.
who does it. And normally guys that do ASMR, it's like very much like stereotypical for them to do like boyfriend role plays, which I find incredibly cringy.
Shut up.
Oh my god, it's so serious, like them acting like they're your boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, and like just having a conversation with you one-sided?
Yes. And it's like, and I like role plays in general are so cringy to me, low key.
Oh my gosh, I did
Those
not
kinds
even
of
know
role
that
plays.
existed.
Yeah, like literally it's very I just like I've been listening to ASMR since I was in college. So it's
Yeah.
like there are some like really weird ASMR artists that are like just strictly kind of like, some people do a little bit spicy, like some people do just, like, oh, your boyfriend comforts you while you have a panic attack. Like it's all just like it's super weird in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So it's like, but this guy, he's just a dude, and he just does ASMR, like, but his voice is like is so like, just, it's like deep, but it's like not a creepy deep, and like I'll send it to you. Like I can't describe it, but literally I listen to him in the grocery store. I can listen to him while I fall asleep, and I can also listen to him in the grocery store.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Yes, please
Yeah.
send.
Like it's just yeah, cuz a lot of role plays can get like super specific.
Like
But-
almost like fan fiction. Like
Yes.
creating a
Yes.
story. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm okay.
Absolutely. Because I like, a lot of, I have noticed that like you don't see a lot of like your girlfriend comforts you while you have a panic attack. It's very much like the role plays are like your big sister does your makeup, or like,
Oh, cute.
or like the mean girl comforts you after a breakup, or like something
Oh my
weird.
gosh, so specific.
Like they're very specific. Like the mean girl is nice to you after you had just been bullied, or like the popular girl
Yeah.
is blah blah blah, whatever. Like very specific
Okay.
role plays kind of thing. I normally don't like to listen to role plays because the ASMR is more like fast paced, and it's very like chaotic and very direct, and that's not the vibe that I like to go for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
You want a
so-
relaxing moment.
Exactly. And when I think of ASMR, I think of relaxation. I don't think of watching a story time that's made up,
Yeah.
like a fiction, like you said, a fan fiction. So
Okay. This was a random thought that I had today.
tell me.
I am not good when people put me on the spot and are like, what is the funniest thing that's ever happened to you? Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, like give me 10 minutes. Like
Right.
it takes a lot for me to crawl. Or like, what's the scariest thing you've ever been through? I'm like,
Right.
wait a second. I don't know. So I was just thinking how I'm not one of those people who can just like pull a story like immediately from memory.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's relevant, but then I thought I should ask you, what is this? Let me put you on the
Oh,
spot.
God. Okay.
What is the scariest thing that's ever happened to you? I can tell mine, and maybe you can think of yours.
Yeah, please. That's
Okay.
normally I am notorious for whipping a story out.
Or like, when is a time that you like actually feared for your life?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm giggling.
No, but,
it
like-
sounds so dramatic and like scary all of a sudden.
Intense.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me yours if you know it, and then maybe
Okay.
it'll spark a memory for me.
Okay. I guess this is like festive too because it's Halloween, so
Right.
scary story season. I actually got asked this question, like, what's the scariest thing that ever happened to you? And I was with my sister, and I was like, gosh, like, I don't even know. And if my sister, I'm like, asking her, what is the scariest thing that ever happened to me? Like, surely you know if I don't, like,
Right.
fill in the blanks. She's like, Sophia the Ice. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. You probably know about this. When I was in Richmond, when I worked at the TV station, We had freezing rain all night, and so the tower at the TV station with the tall blinking light on it. Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Continue.
It's crazy.
It
I
is.
forget that it ever happened to me. The tower, which I don't know exactly how tall it is. It's probably at least like 100 feet tall, or
Right.
it's very tall. Anyways, it gets coated in ice, like encapsulated in ice. And at some point, the temperature will go back above freezing. So obviously all of those coatings around all of the steel beams and like poles and all that, the ice just falls, and it would notoriously fall directly on the roof at like NBC 12. And one day there had been like freezing, and also we had like a camera on top of the tower so we could actually watch it, and like you could like
Ooh.
move it around. It was like a 360 camera.
Oh,
so we
I
could
didn't know
see.
that. That's fun.
Yeah. So anyways, I happened to be outside one day. I like won't get into the details, but basically ice started falling from the top of the tower, and I was in our little courtyard. The building was a 1-story building, just like flat 1 story, and there was a little green courtyard out to like the right side of it, and you could come in the back door. And I was out there by a bush, and ice started falling, and I just remember thinking it sounded like bricks and like concrete were falling from the sky. Like
That's
the way and the
crazy.
speed at which this ice was like hitting the ground and like puncturing the grass. Like you could tell it was like digging into the grass. It was falling so fast. It started falling, and I'm out there like in the wide open, no roof above me, and I just jumped to like the side. Luckily I was really close to being underneath like the awning kind of, and I jumped over like towards the wall and like braced myself, like kind of like put my hands over my head and crouched down onto my knees. And luckily it only hit the back of my arm, like up by my elbow, and my right butt cheek, I think. So it was
Wild.
basically that whole like backside of me. A massive piece of ice just like smacked me right then and there.
That's crazy.
Yes, and I had gnarly bruising. Like my entire
Yeah.
side of my cheek was like black and blue, and the back of my arm was black and blue, and it was like yellow and purple. Like I was out of work for like a while.
Jeez.
In a sling. Oh yeah. And I had to go to physical therapy like when I was in Richmond, and like it wasn't, none of the bones broke, thank God, but it was more just like deep bone bruises, so it was just like super painful.
That's
And
intense.
they had to like massage like the knots out of the like that's what the physical therapy was. So I know it wasn't like cutesy, like just like beep boop, like move my little arm out. They were like gnarly, like getting in there to like
Yikes.
yeah, I know, it was crazy. So yeah, that is definitely a time that I like truly feared for my life, was when I heard that like ice falling to the ground, like sounding like cement, like it was like a avalanche, like stuff is just falling from the sky and you're like running. It was crazy.
Ooh, I hate that. Okay.
But like I survived, and I'm very
That's
good
insane.
at like packing away the trauma,
Yeah,
popping
just
it to the back.
throwing away the key.
Yeah.
And being like, trauma,
I will say
I don't know her.
I was in Chicago with all my friends, and they have a lot of tall buildings in Chicago, and it was during winter, and there were signs out, like a wet floor sign that they just like pop in the center of Aldi. It was one of those, but it was like danger falling ice, like around the bottom of the
That's
building. And my friends and I were
crazy.
all there like walking, and we all saw the signs, and I immediately was like, I have to get off. Like, I have to go
Yeah.
over here to like the side. And my friends were like, oh, the poor girl and her PTSD. Like, they didn't care. But I was like fight or flight. Like,
That's traumatizing.
I'll never do it again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no.
I hate
Yeah.
that.
And then all the other like Chicagoans were just like walking along.
yeah.
Just no problem.
Literally, like
Yeah.
ice, whatever.
From like hundreds of feet up. Like, that would straight up kill you.
That would like, oh god, just the thought of that is insane.
Right? Okay.
That's terrifying.
So that's it.
Wild. My brain was trying to figure something out,
Yeah.
and I have two,
Okay.
maybe.
Pick your best one. No, I'm kidding.
You know, it's so funny. It wasn't necessarily my biggest fear. Like, I was scared for my life. It was the
Okay.
most amount of pain that I've ever been in my life.
Ooh.
It was when, okay, TMI warning. I'm not going to get into too much graphic because I think I've told you about this before. But just for those of you listening, like I'm not going to get super graphic, but I'm going to, whatever. I was still living here. It was about maybe at this point about 3 years ago, like maybe 2.5 years ago. I had felt a lump on my lady area.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, obviously, I'm not sexually active. So I was like, it genuinely would be impossible for it to be a STD. So I'm like, I'm like, this is so weird. Like, maybe it's like an ingrown hair or something. So I was like, okay. I kind of like left it alone for a little bit. And I was like, maybe if I just like continue to wash it with soap, like try not to wear too tight of pants, like let it air out basically. But then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, something's not right. So then I was like, I'm going to do what any normal person would do, or I guess what I would do is I got a needle and I started poking at it to try and like pop it, to try and get the hair out. And the more I popped it, like it was just like a solid rock, it felt like.
Dang.
And I was like, okay, that's not right. And then one day I guess I had been like walking and it was like rubbing because like where it was at was like there was no way that it wasn't going to make contact with something. So I was like, okay, this is honestly kind of like, it felt uncomfortable throughout the day, but I wasn't in pain. It wasn't until later. I had jeans on because I had to work and I obviously had to wear pants. So I had jeans on and I remember going home, and as soon as I took my jeans off, it was like, have you ever felt a big rush of pain so bad that you can feel it in your throat? Like I immediately, it was almost like somebody had taken a knife and stabbed me like through my lady bits.
Oh my
And
God.
I was like bent over, like holding on to the bed. And like, of course, I'm immediately like, oh my God, like what's going on? And like, I was just like completely and utterly freaking out. So I was like, at first I was like, it'll be fine. Like everything's fine. I like grabbed my mirror and was like inspecting. And I was like, it is like fully red, inflamed, like where like the little hole where I had been poking it to try and pop it, or like at least like soak it in hot water, was just like completely swollen. I was like, and it was even bigger than it was. I was like, this is literally insane. So like I went in the shower and I was like, maybe if I like keep putting soap on it, it'll work. And like I was like scorching hot water to try and like bring down the swelling or something. I was like, at this point I was freaking out. So then it got to the point where like I was even laying in bed, and when my air cut on, because I was laying in bed like with my legs open, pretty much just trying to like calm down. They're just trying to like almost gaslight myself and being like, I'm fine. Like it's not that bad. So I'm laying in bed, and when my air cuts on, I can like feel the air, and it was like the most excruciating pain I have ever felt in my, like literally in my entire life, to the point where I called my mom. And like, have you ever cried so hard that it's like not even like the but it's like you're like groaning, you're crying so hard? I was like on the phone with my mom, and I was like trying, of course she's freaking out because I'm here, not at the house, and like I'm trying to explain to her like what's going on, and I'm like literally like almost like to the point of like I'm screaming. I was crying so hard. So eventually I was like, my mom is very much like a we'll fix it here, you don't need to go to the hospital kind of thing. And it got to the point where I was like seeing stars, and I was like, I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not, I was like, this isn't funny anymore. Like I was like, Mom, I think I need to go to think I need to go to the emergency room. I was like, I am in so much pain. Like it was unbearable. And when my mom said you need to go to the ER, that's what I was like, that's when I started getting panicked. And I was like, oh my God, like that's serious. Like when my mom says I need to go to the emergency room, like that means that, like, you know. So thank God my roommate was awake, because it was like after 10 o'clock. I texted my roommate and I was like, are you awake? She's like, yeah. So then I come downstairs. I'm like, well, first of all, she like comes to the bottom of the steps and I'm at the top of the steps. Like I barely could get out of bed. And I was like, I need you to take me to the emergency room. And she's like, oh my God, okay, like done. Like I'm getting my clothes on and we're going. So like I put sweatpants on. I'm like hobbling down my, of course I'm walking down my steps of all steps, right?
Death
Perfect.
trap.
Literally 90 degree angle. We get to the ER and I'm like, my face is swollen because I've been crying so much. I'm in so much pain because I can barely walk. And of course, the lady's like, "What? Why are you in the emergency room?" And I have to tell her like I have a cyst or I have something
Right.
on my nether regions, and I am in an incredible amount of pain. I had to wait in the waiting room for over an hour.
No.
I was sitting there like I could not get, my roommate was there with me and I could just like could not get comfortable.
Right.
I was like shifting in my chair. I finally found a position to where I wasn't in, I was still in pain, but wasn't in that much pain. And so I just sat there and just stayed in that position for as long as humanly possible. And then finally they took me back to triage. And at that point, I'm still, at like as soon as they called my name, I started crying because I was like, I don't know, like because it's becoming real. Like I don't know what's happening. So then they take me back. You know, I had asked them. I said because it's such like a sensitive area for me. I was like, can you? I was like, I would really prefer a woman to do my like my analysis or like to analyze everything and like to do the treatment. Like I would really prefer a woman to do it. And she was like, we'll see what we can do. And I was like, I don't think you understand. Like I don't want to. That's exposed, like exposure. Like I'm not trying to do that. So finally, they slap a bracelet on me, stick me back into the waiting room, and they're like, "We'll call you when we have a room." I'm like,
dang.
and they were literally like taking my blood pressure or like my heart rate, and they were and the woman looked at me. She goes, "You need to calm down." I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
how long?
like total. Well, so I think total of me waiting in the waiting room was like at least 2 hours.
Dang.
Total of me waiting in the waiting room. But as soon as I got back into the back room, they gave me a bunch of painkillers.
Thank you, Lord.
So that brought my anxiety down tremendously. It was like Tylenol, ibuprofen, and Xanax. Like a trifecta. So, you know, your girl was like, it was literally like an immediate relief.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, okay, I feel better. Still in pain, but I feel better. So then, you know, the two ladies finally come back. They're observing everything. And they're like, and they like kept touching it. And I was like, hands gripping on the side of the bed, like looking up at the ceiling, like actively sobbing. And they were like, again, like gross moment TMI. They were like, we gotta cut it open and drain it.
So it was a cyst.
It was like they had some sort of name for it. I can't remember because it was so long ago, but I'm pretty sure it was a cyst. Yeah.
Ouch.
And it was like at the perfect, not the, and I when I say perfect, I mean and with all the sarcasm in my heart, it was at like the perfect spot to where it was so painful. And it was like, so they said we have to drain it. I'm like, okay. They said we're gonna put like a topical numbing cream on it. They're like, we're gonna leave it there to like marinate for a few minutes, and then after that they're gonna like shoot me with lidocaine to completely numb me. And I was like, okay. But where they shot the lidocaine, because they did it in only like one or two spots, but they didn't do it towards the top, so I could still feel half of it. So then they're just like, are you ready? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, even with the numbing cream and the lidocaine, they're like, girl, this is going to be painful and you're going to feel everything. They're like, this was just to help it not be as painful. I was like, okay. And the lady goes, she said, because at that point, like my hands were like by my sides. And I was like, I'm literally shaking thinking about it. Like I was laying down and like I was staring at the fluorescent lights above me. And she literally grabbed my arms and stuck them on the metal bars. And she was like, do you want to listen to music? And I said, no, I don't. And I was just like, absolutely not. I was like, I'm already overstimulated as it is. I was like, if we add music on top of that, like, I'm not going to be able to function. And she said, okay, feel free to yell, feel free to scream. She's like, cuss me out, do whatever you feel is necessary. She's like, because this is going to be painful.
Oh, dude.
I said, okay. And then she got the scalpel and I could feel the cut, and it was like it was about like that long of an incision, and like I could
Dang.
feel the incision going down, and that was the most painful part, was just the incision. And then after that, it was basically like pimple popper, and she just squeezed it and had to drain it all out. And there was like a hole about that big, like down there.
Dang.
And as soon as they finished, they were like, "All right," they're like, "Britt, you're all done. You're all done." And I was like, literally tears streaming down my face. Like I'm looking up at the ceiling. I'm like hard gripping. I'm like literally like, like, as they're doing it, because like obviously I don't want to like holler because that's embarrassing, but like I'm not giving birth, I'm just having
Yeah,
you know what I mean, so
holler.
like you like, like I don't want to holler. But so yeah, they basically like stuck gauze in it, and they were
Okay.
like, and they said, then like tomorrow take it out. And she was like, you're gonna have to wear a pad for a few days because you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have like excess drainage come out. And then they like prescribed me this like medication that I had to take for a week or something. And then after that, I was good. I didn't get home till after 4 in the morning.
Dude, that is freaking traumatic.
It was, I
So
really
painful.
emailed my boss at 4 in the morning. I'm like hopped up on painkillers, and like, thank God my roommate stayed the entire time in the
Oh,
waiting
love
room waiting
her.
for me. And she drove me, the people at the ER were like, do you have a ride home? And I was like, yeah, I do. They're like, okay, good. Because like, I'm on Xanax pretty much. So I'm like, okay. So I get home and I'm literally emailing my boss at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, hey, I literally just got home from the ER, calling out of work tomorrow. Sorry, love ya, bye. Didn't actually say love ya, but I was like, so sorry. I have a doctor's note just in case you need to see it. And the next day, I get like a phone call at like 8 a.m. And he's like, oh my God, like, are you okay? And I was like, I was not last night. I was like, but now we're good now. We're good. He's like, take the rest of the week off. And if you need to take next week off, you can. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's fine. I obviously didn't tell him what happened. I just told him that it was very traumatic. So yeah, that was the most amount of pain that I've ever been in my entire life.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I do vaguely kind of remember that. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember you like kind of dropping on me like, yeah, so I went to the ER the other night. And I was like,
Yeah. And you're like, are you okay? Yeah. So yeah,
that's funny.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Just wanted to put you on the spot real quick.
Hey, that's okay. Because my mind went to like, I don't think I've ever feared for my life necessarily,
Right.
but that was definitely like that was like easily the number one most painful experience. I
Jeez.
guarantee you childbirth is gonna top that,
Oh yeah.
but like as of right now in my phase of life, that was the most painful thing I've ever experienced.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude. Very much intense.
Survivor. Hashtag survivor.
Reba, where you at? I'm a survivor.
Okay, yeah, that's literally the only thing that I had was like, are you good on the spot when people are like, recall a story?
No.
Me either. Terrible. Give me
I
5 years.
Yes, I am the queen, however, of like if we're having a conversation, I'm like, "Oh yeah, this one time." Yes.
Oh yeah, when we talk, it's like rivers and like tributaries and like little branch in them another branch,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
it's kind of amazing though.
Honestly, it's crazy, but like your brain can remember. I love
It's
that.
kind of like, I don't know why it's reminded of me of this, but like when you dream, the way that your brain like kind of puts little pieces together of like things that you've seen or
Right.
thought of throughout the day and like makes it into a little story time for you at
Right.
night. Because
Right.
I can typically always trace back what I dreamed about. Like, why was
Mm-hmm.
I thinking about this? Or like, why was that guy's mom in my dream? Like, oh, because I saw
Right.
that restaurant. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so crazy.
I
She's
know.
fascinating.
Honestly, just this little glob of skin floating around in
Oh,
our
wait.
head.
Love is Blind. Okay.
Oh my God. I was literally about to say that, like, when we end the episode, I'm going to be like, I'm going to need you to watch the most recent episode so we can gab about everything.
Okay, I will. Oh my gosh, I have two things to watch. I have Tell Me Lies, episode 8, the last one. I've been waiting. And okay, so I could have sworn it was the weddings were on the 27th of October. So you're telling me they came out on the 23rd.
They came out today.
All right. If
And then the reunion is coming out on the 30th.
oh my gosh, it's a reunion. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So this is
So-
like the last episode before the reunion.
If you haven't listened to the last episode that we posted, Brittany had been talking about it. She kind of told me the gist of like the first 2 or 3 episodes, but I had not watched it. Recently I saw my mom. We binged it, and now I'm completely caught up all of a sudden. So, if you don't want to have a spoiler and you want to watch it yourself, skip a little bit ahead, okay? All right. I love, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on their names. The spearfishing guy and the
Garrett
Asian
and
girl.
Taylor. Garrett and Taylor.
I love them.
I am
To death.
obsessed with them. I don't think
death.
you understand. I love their dynamic. They are literally the same person.
Match made in heaven.
Like their humor is the exact same.
Yep. They're
The way
chill.
that the way that they like analyze, they're very like they're both very logical people.
Yes,
Like they
logical.
they don't just lead with their feelings. Like they're very much like
Overreact.
yes, they're like, let's look at the facts of the situation. They're both like, I am so obsessed with them.
I agree. I truly could not love them more. Like they're my number one couple.
How do you feel about his mom though?
Okay, so the only thing I've seen of his mom was when they went to the house. But I remember at a dinner that they had together, he was like, she basically said, I understand that like your family is kind of talking badly about me and like you're allowed to have those conversations and like I'm not going to look at them type thing. Like
Right.
she basically just stated, I know that your parents aren't really down for this, but I respect the fact that they are your family and I am not privy to all of those conversations, which I'm like, wow, logical. Like they're so,
Yes.
they work, their dynamic is just so respectful and good.
Yes.
But I was like, ooh, like the mom wasn't sold by her because I thought she did an amazing job at the house.
I think so too, but did you watch the way that his mom reacted?
I
She was
know.
blubbering the whole time. It was
Yeah.
very much like, again, I don't have kids, so I can't relate, but like, it was very much giving like, that's my little baby boy mom.
Like yes, the relationship where like it's almost a little unhealthy potentially.
Yes.
Like how much she clings to him.
Yes.
She ain't gonna be happy though because they are literally moving across the country and he is all for it.
Yeah.
So good for him for not letting his like
Literally
parents hold him back.
Cali. Like, not even just like a couple states, like literally across like a whole different time
But the
zone.
way that he was telling her friends when he met her friends, he was like, I am crazy about this girl. Like, I will follow her. Like, I'm willing to give up my. Oh. So freaking cute.
know.
That, yeah, number one
My
for sure.
God.
My mom doesn't think that Ramses and what's her name are not going to go through.
Marissa.
I'm like on the fence. Like I
Okay.
can see them just getting married, but I know there was a teaser in the last episode where she like came out of the bathroom, or at least the last one I saw, and was like, "How are you gonna like let other people influence your feelings all of a sudden?" Blah blah blah.
Right.
So I'm like, maybe he's getting cold feet.
Right. I already know the outcome, so I'm not going to
Okay.
tell you.
Okay.
But I
Well-
want to talk to you about it so bad, and I'm like I can feel a drip of sweat dropping down my back right now. That's dramatic. I don't actually, but like I want
love it.
I want to tell you so I can talk about it with you so bad, but I'm not going to do it to you.
Okay, at least we can talk about Steven, the big hairy man baby. That was his name, Steven, right?
Literally, he is what I see in the corner of my bedroom when I'm having a night terror.
100%. Like
He is actually terrifying.
you knew he was sex crazed from the beginning. Like he is overly horny and he's always shown it. And like they had that one conversation before she found all the messages on his phone, and I was like, you remember, like on the couch, and they were talking about like butt stuff, like
Yes.
and she was like. He was basically saying, which like not to say that it's bad, but anyways, it was just like very detailed that like he
Very
was okay
detailed.
talking to the camera about like that type of stuff and like
Yeah.
exploring their kinks, and which like no one else was doing. So I was like, whoa, like what are they
like,
talking about?
This is
Like
a huge like
Yes.
whoa and
Whoa.
whoa. The second in the pods, the millisecond that this man said that he made a mistake and that he emotionally cheated.
Yes,
At
that too.
the second that he said that, I immediately was like, nope, no. Because in my humble opinion, once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't care even if you say that you've changed, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly don't believe you. Like, if they do it once, they will do it again. Like, wholeheartedly believe that. So the second that he said that, and when Monica was like, okay, like, there's always different context and things, so, like, I really appreciate you sharing that with me. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
she wasn't really fazed by it, I think.
I'm like, what? She's like, we're at an age where there's always more to the story. I'm like, it's giving you're 35 and you want to get married. Like, that's what it gave to me. And which, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but, like, that's what it gave to me. It's like, in my head, I'm immediately like, okay, she's ignoring red flags.
I always thought she was just a little too elegant and classy for him.
For
like,
sure.
I kept thinking, like, Monica, like, girl, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like, this is not your man.
The amount of times that I was literally like, get off of your knees, girl.
Yes.
Stand up.
Yes. Stand up.
Like, the amount of times that I, like, literally screamed stand up at the TV to Marissa. I've been screaming stand up because I'm like, she has been overlooked. Like, this girl has terrible periods. She has an autoimmune disease, and she also commutes 2 hours to work every day,
Yes.
and she's just not in the mood to do the do. Mm-hmm. And when Ramses was like, is this how it's, like, always gonna be? Because, like, intimacy means the world to me, and if this is how it's always gonna be, then, like, I'm not really sure. It's like, okay.
It's just so soon. Like, it's just so soon to be already frustrated.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
It's like is it, like, for sickness and in health, for richer and, like, in sickness?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
the vein.
Honestly, Monica ate, though, when she told Steven, like, take out your phone and Venmo me right now.
Right now. Right now.
Did you see her TikTok that she made?
No.
Do you know the TikTok audio that's like, what's not clicking, Steven?
Oh, yes, yes.
She made a TikTok sound. She said, I need some money. Like,
Oh my gosh.
what's not clicking, Steven? You have to look it up. It's so iconic. I
think
her
it's
for
Landon
that.
Romano. It's a guy, right? Who's saying it.
No,
Oh, oops. Okay.
I don't think
Whatever.
so. I think he definitely made, like, a remake because that's
Yeah.
what he always does that. But, like, no, it's definitely because in the audio, the lady goes, I need some money. Slur.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I know.
Word I cannot say.
She's so iconic for that.
I
She's
know.
oh my gosh. I gotta go look at it.
And then when she was like, he did his ancestry and found out that he was, like, a sprinkle of African. I'm like, she's like, oh my God. And he bought a book. I'm like, girl.
It was wishful
Like,
thinking from the
stand
beginning.
up.
Like,
Literally.
he's like a little boy. And what there was some other part where he was drunk at one of their, like, little get-togethers in Mexico, and he was having some weird conversation.
Yes.
She has never disappointed on the facials, though. Like, she's so quick to hear him talking and be like, what the literal heck is coming out of his mouth?
Literally,
she's like,
yes.
I'm gonna go get a drink, and, like, walks away.
Right.
Like, and okay, all this is coming together. At the beginning, she also was like, you're doing that thing again where you talk way too much and don't let me get a single word in. I was like, oh,
And that happened in Mexico, right?
yes, yeah. And I
Yeah,
was like,
when she was like, you're doing that thing again. And he was like, am I talking too much? And at that point, I, like, low-key felt a little sorry for him. Because
Yes.
I was like, how are you going to dim his light? That's just his personality. And then she proceeded to not say a singular thing.
she
was like-
was already annoyed.
Yeah, I was like, girl. But then as soon as everything came out, I was like, she can do no wrong in my eyes.
Seriously, that conversation was, like, way too kinky, and he was acting so, like, oh yeah, like, maybe, and then to find out that he was fully having, like, intense conversations about, like, fetishes with other women, like,
Ooh.
he was on camera, he was acting fully
Oh, for sure.
his time to shine.
Absolutely. All right, how do we feel about Nick and Hannah?
I knew it was coming to an end, but he was
for
too much of a gentleman to do it. And I gotta say, I was sitting there being like, "Oh my God, you're so condescending!" Like
She is vile.
the way that she was talking to him. Sometimes I was like, "You are emasculating this man to the literal core." Like I felt embarrassed. The way, right, Nick? Like I turned to a boy and to a man. Like, I'm okay. I'm glad we are like on the same page.
Yes, because the amount, like, I don't think I've ever heard. And also, when they were all together with her friends, and it was like he was in the hot seat. It was like literally 3 against 1. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand if my man was like, I don't know how to boil pasta, I'd be like, are you serious?
Right.
But granted, on the other hand, his mom, as soon as he got introduced, like as soon as he introduced the family, I was like, that makes so much sense. He's Cuban.
Yeah.
Right? Either Cuban or Colombian. Like, I think he's Cuban. I'm like, his mom is going to baby him. It's
She even said that.
It's a cultural thing. Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, as soon as I found that, as soon as I saw his mom, I go, okay, that makes sense. But as soon as I saw like that whole, there's something in my hair. As soon as I saw that whole like family dynamic, I was like, what a loving family to grow up in. Like, immediately his family like welcomed her with open arms and was like, we're so happy that y'all found each other. Like, you're perfect for our son. And like, just so loving and nurturing and caring. But then her family was like barely said anything. They just sat there, and she was like, what, are you gonna like interrogate him now? Like, isn't that what you're supposed to do? And they're like, as long as you're happy, like, he seems like a nice guy, like, we just want what's best for you. And she almost looked like she was disappointed that they weren't like, you know, going the smackdown on him.
I agree. I got secondhand embarrassment from him meeting her family because her family was basically telling her like, Hannah, like, don't be so mean, like, you're so tense, like, relax, like, we're just all having conversation. And she was just like ready for like drama to happen. Like it seemed like she just wanted, I don't know, it was just, she had moments where she was so sweet and then she would like tear him down in the next breath.
Literally no hesitation. Like,
I know
that last conversation that they had, and she like had the notebook out, and she's just like, really, Nick? Really, Nick? Really, Nick? Yeah, Nick?
condescending.
I'm like, girl, shut up, dude. I'm like, your delivery is so inappropriate. And like, that poor man just sat there and listened. Granted, did I think that some of his conversations that he had before they ended things were a little inappropriate? Yes. Like, the conversation that he had with Katie. When he kept saying that, like, your Instagram, oh, girl, your Instagram is popping. Like, you know, oh, like, you're gorgeous, by the way. It's like, yikes. Like,
yeah.
That's like,
Gray line. I was like, yeah.
Girl. But then at the same time, like, I think Katie had the conversation with him that, like, I think Hannah and Katie both had the same conversation with him, except that Katie's approach was how Hannah should have done it.
Right.
Because,
yes,
you know,
you're right.
Yeah.
She worded it very respectfully and, like,
Yes.
she really thought through it and was like, how can I critique him but, like, build him up and, like, encourage him?
Exactly. He's like, she's like, you're attractive. Like, I feel like I think you're hot. And, like, you know, you're a smooth talker. You're very confident. But she's like, I feel like you lead with your confidence, which you know, which, like, kind of masks your insecurity or whatever. And she, like, clocked him, but in a very respectful in very nice way that didn't tear him down as a person. And then here's Hannah being like, you don't know how to boil water. You don't, like, why, like, I shouldn't have to tell you to take the trash out. Like, you don't invest your money in stocks and bonds. Like, name every responsibility that you've ever had in your entire life. Like, I turned you from a boy into a man. But like, the manipulation, like, being condescending, emasculating, I'm like, that is actually humiliating. I knew it wasn't going to work the second that they saw each other.
And you told me too, because remember, like, you had given me like the gist of the first 3 episodes. So I was like waiting for that conflict to go down, like the dynamic between Nick and oh my gosh, we haven't even talked about them yet. The art dealer, the most obnoxious man on the face of the literal planet. Oh my gosh, he was so I got the ick so bad.
Yes, and you saw the scene where he was pretty much eating their
He
girl's
would
face.
not leave her alone.
Yes.
He would not get his
she
hands
was
off her.
visibly uncomfortable.
100%. So when they didn't come to Mexico, I was like, okay, obviously.
I'm excited for the reunion to see what happened. I hope that they spill.
Seriously? I know. Because, like, surely they'll be there, right? Like, even
I
if
think
they
so.
didn't. Okay.
I really hope that. I think they focus on like the couples that made it, and then I think I've never seen Love Is Blind, so I don't know. I'm hoping that they'll be there, and I'm hoping that like I'm gonna make a bet to myself. If they are in the reunion, I think that Leo is gonna give like the very like PR training political answer
Okay.
to questions, and then Brittany's just gonna spill everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's-
he's gonna almost like be condescending too, like in his reactions.
Oh, for
like,
sure. Absolutely.
He was just so from the
So
moment he wouldn't stop
icky.
talking about his money, I was like, okay, we have a problem on our hands.
The amount of times that he brought up his Rolex,
Like,
it's like we get it.
okay, what I'm blanking on the girl's name, but Tim was the guy
Alex.
and Alex. How did you feel about them?
So I'm definitely, because I was very much one-sided,
Okay.
and now I've seen like articles put out. That's another thing, like real quick thought. The fact that they don't have NDAs with this show,
Uh-huh.
like they're doing podcasts, they're doing interviews, and like the reunion hasn't even happened yet. I feel like they need to go back to like the super strict NDAs of them being like, you can't post anything, you can't talk about it.
Yeah, at least until the reunion.
Until the reunion, and then from there you can kind of like spill the tea however you want to once your NDA is up. But now it's like I feel like I know the outcome of I mean, granted the wedding's already happened, so I already know who got married and who didn't, but it's like, you know, like even Marissa, I like her video popped up on my For You page and she was just like finale spoiler, and I was like no, and I immediately kept scrolling because I was like
Dang.
why would you do that? Like why wouldn't you wait until after? Anyway, so that's just a whole nother discussion. But so surface level,
Okay.
their first fight that they had in Mexico, when I read somewhere, or they talked about it, I'm not sure what's true anymore, that she put her hand over his mouth when they were talking.
Yes.
At that point, I was very much Team Tim. I was like, she's unstable. Like, that's just, like, that's crazy. Like, she doesn't know how to regulate emotions. She doesn't know how to, you know, she doesn't know how to have conflict resolution.
Right.
But then the more I watched, the more I am 1000% Team Alex.
What?
1000% Team
What do you
Alex.
think is wrong with Tim?
He dipped out these like as fast as he possibly could, which I think is a cop out. I think that I think a lot, well, right now I'm Team Alex because of the fact that like once I see the reunion, then I'm like, okay, maybe I'll either change my mind or stay Team Alex.
Right.
But my thing is that we don't see everything that was on the cameras, and especially
Right.
after I read somebody was making a TikTok video about an interview that she did for like some sort of like magazine or news article or whatever, and because they were asking about, spoiler alert, they were asking about Tim just like completely ending their engagement and being
Yeah.
like, I never want to see you again. I was like, that's a big jump. That's crazy to me. Because in the article, she was like, we had been with his family all day. Like, at that point, like, even before they were rolling, they had been together all day.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I had somewhere to be that night. She's like, so Tim had left to go to, like, the store, or he left to go somewhere for a quick errand. So then she was talking to him. The family was in the living room. They were watching TV. And she said, she already had plans but she had to drive a certain amount of distance to go to wherever she was doing. And she was like, hey, like, I'm just super tired. Do you mind if I just go upstairs really quick and just take like a quick hour power nap or whatever? Like, I'm just going to step away for a minute, just for an hour, just to take a quick power nap. And she said that Tyler's family was like super cool with it. They were like, that's totally fine, whatever. So then she went to go take a nap. And that's when Tyler, obviously that's when Tyler was like, I can't believe you took a nap when my family drove 10 hours to be here to see you. And I did all this stuff for your family and you didn't show the same courtesy to mine and blah, blah, blah. Because turns out they had that fight before they even started rolling. So, like, a lot of people
Right.
were looking at her body language and like, oh, when you hugged his mom and dad, you're like, you had one hand in your pocket. Like, what's the deal with that? Like, people were like analyzing her body language. And she was like, I was already frustrated because we had already gotten into an argument about it. Because it's like they rolled their first time meeting, but in reality, they had been together
All day.
that whole day. And plus, on top of that, her MS runs in her family. And one of the major signs is fatigue. And she's even mentioned in Love is Blind, she's like, I'm tired all the time and I don't know why. She's like, I'm exhausted all the time. She's like, I have to take my naps. Like, I have to take a nap. Like, I'm just so fatigued. I'm so tired all the time. And it's like, that's a sign, an early sign of of MS.
Okay, see, I did not put that together. Like the fatigue thing. From my perspective, she was always just like miserable. Like I felt
Right.
like ever since she crossed the line in their first fight and called him nasty names, because he did say the way you like called me out of my name and like cussed me out and like put your hand over my mouth was like
That, yes.
you were like way too comfortable, and he was
Right.
like, I'm not letting that slide. And it seemed like she was almost too prideful to like say sorry or like even admit she was wrong.
Right.
And she got upset by him like trying to call her out and make her apologize, and she was just
Right.
like, I'm gonna like gonna hold a grudge. It seemed like I'm just not gonna be happy for the rest of the time because
I
like
feel you. I saw that
embarrassed
too.
me.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how I felt. And so I just felt like she never got happy after that. Like they were not in love, so to speak, anymore. Like the vibes were just like, yeah, like you could see it.
Oh, for sure.
coming.
Like after that first fight, I just like, I knew the vibes were like not very much there. Like the love was not there.
No, I accidentally saw a spoiler for like 5 seconds on Facebook before I had seen the episode where he left. And it was like a picture of his, like it was his Love Island headshot. Okay. And it was just plain that. And the caption was like, if I send you this, just know I never want to see you again. And I saw it and I was like, I wonder what that means.
Oh, no.
Now watching it when he literally said, okay, and with that, I never want to see you again. I was like, oh my God.
Which I thought is like, that's crazy.
That was,
I'm like,
yeah.
you're
And
gonna
she was just sitting
end-
there eating her fries.
Yeah, she was like, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
But like literally it was just like, I thought that it was crazy the fact that he just immediately was like, I'm done.
I know.
After
It was
that,
abrupt AF.
Instead of having that discussion like you do in a very serious committed relationship, like, hey, I wanted to talk to you about this. Like, I noticed your behavior about this. I really didn't like it because I put in a lot of effort with your family. And
Right.
it felt like you didn't put a lot of effort into my family. Like, if he genuinely wanted to make it work, he could do it.
Okay, but I
But-
feel like she had to put in work too.
Oh,
Like,
for sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Like, I wholeheartedly agree that she could have done more. For sure. Like, she could have definitely done more because of the fact that, like, but another thing though, her dad has MS
yes.
and he had that full blown heart to heart, read a letter, was like, I love your daughter. I promise to love her for the rest of my life. Like, blah, 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 whatever. And then he got the blessing from the dad. But, like, yes, he did go above and beyond. He bought the food, he cooked, he cleaned. Like, I understand his frustration.
Right.
But I think ending it at that point, I was like, he was trying to find a reason.
It was like so abrupt. Like it was,
Yes.
how can you go from this one day to this the next day?
To this literally in 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, it was definitely, he was trying to find a way out. And then
Yeah.
as soon as that happened, he found his reason. And he was like, okay, done.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
No, I agree. The Ramses and Marissa thing, like, I gotta say, her mom is just like too much for me.
Too much.
She hates marriage too much. She hates commitment too much. She just is like, and it's not going to last anyway, so like why do even people get married? Like, and wanting her daughter to sign a prenup like as if she's sitting on millions of dollars in the bank. Her daughter is literally in law school, like as we speak. Like she is not practicing. She is not making money. Like, why are you trying to call her out at dinner with the family and say, did you get that prenup yet? Like, all harsh and just like...
Right?
Ooh.
Like, at first, when she started talking, I was like, yeah, girl, clock it. Because I haven't liked Ramses from the jump. I never liked him.
Oh, really?
I never liked him, just with his freaking rat tails. I never liked him.
My mom's the same way. She's like, I wish you would just cut those things off.
I never liked him. I think I may have liked him maybe the first episode. I was like, okay, I can see the potential, but like the rat tails have to go.
Yeah.
But then eventually, the more he talked, the more I was like, God, this dude is insufferable. Right?
The way he made her feel bad about being in the military, I was like,
oh, I know. I
are
was
you
like,
seriously
dude.
saying you wouldn't have dated her 2 years ago? Like, because
Honestly,
just lie. Like,
right?
What?
Like, what are you doing? Like, Mr. Woke Warrior over here,
literally,
like talking about how bad the military is, and then turning it around and being like, I'm not going to wear a condom now.
I know, he's like, it's just not comfortable. Like, or it's not like he doesn't enjoy it as much or something. Right?
It's like, it's not about your enjoyment, sir. Hello?
Like, is it really
Hello?
that?
And then the fact that he was like, yeah, I want to wait at least like 4 to 5 years to have kids. And she's like, my biological clock is ticking.
Yeah.
And so I never liked him. So as soon, but then when Marissa's mom started to talk, I was like, clock it. Because she, like, all the comments that she was making, I was like, oh, like the same thing you said. I was like, oh, okay. And then eventually I was like, okay.
Doing too much.
Relax, please. Relax. Damn.
Who else?
I think that's it, isn't it?
Oh, the other black couple. The really cute one. She's
Tyler
freaking gorgeous.
and Ashley.
Ashley.
They're
She has like a doll face.
gorgeous.
The skydiving and like the way that they were praying together like before bed and like
no.
I will say I was nervous that she was gonna dump him because of the 3 kids. And I was like, please
did you
don't
see
do that.
all the stuff that's going out around about him right now?
No.
Yeah, dude.
Not good?
Not good.
No.
Yeah, apparently he's like hashtag deadbeat dad.
No. He made it seem like he wasn't in their lives.
Yeah,
no.
like there's photos of all of them in matching PJs at Christmas. Like very much not just sperm donor, very much was involved and now just like peaced out. I don't know all of the detail. Literally all the videos on my For You page right now is strictly Love is Blind things.
Yeah.
So it's like apparently the mother of the children came out and like made a statement, but then apparently I found out that she was also lying.
Oh my gosh.
And like, you know, the whole reason that he was a sperm donor is because like the baby mom is a lesbian.
Right.
And they wanted to have a child, and they got like apparently there's like a kit. There's like a sperm donor kit. So, like, and you basically just, like, inserted, like, a turkey baster at that point.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like, you know, they tried that, and then it didn't work, and then apparently, I don't know, it was just like, I'm probably not gonna be able to find the video again, but there's this one creator that, like, whenever there's, like, TikTok drama, she'll, like, analyze everything and, like, write it all down and kind of give, like, cliff notes of it, and she explained the whole story. But apparently, like, people were like, "Oh my God, you know, the baby mom and the grandparents are coming out and making allegations."
No.
And yeah, like just, like showing pictures of like Tyler with all of the kids and like Christmas time and them like holding hands and walking down the street and like blah blah blah. And then the baby mom came out and made a statement, but then turns out like she was also lying because the baby mom's ex-wife came out and started saying stuff, being like, she's lying, this is what actually happened. I haven't seen that actual video, I just saw the Cliff Notes version. there's just so much stuff, and apparently like people are like commenting on Ashley's Instagram being like, girl, run, he's a deadbeat, blah blah blah. And then she responded to the comments and was like, y'all don't know him personally, y'all don't know what's actually going on, and like blah blah blah, basically like I'm a ride for my man kind of thing. And people are like calling her goofy, being like, girl, stand up, like I cannot believe that, like you look goofy, like
No, dude,
know.
I was rooting for them.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You'll see in the episode, but like
Oh, it gets,
no, it doesn't.
oh, okay.
It doesn't come out in the episode, but
I'll see if they get married or not, basically.
yes, you'll see in the episode. So it's it's very much like if all this stuff wasn't coming out on social media, like we would all have no idea.
Dang, I hate that. But it's also like, you, sir, look goofy, because how could you honestly think that this would never surface? Like,
Literally.
in today's age, everyone is an FBI agent. Like, you
Actually,
have to go on those shows knowing that you will be fact-checked.
You have to like
the way that we're just sitting here analyzing them, like, think about how many hundreds of people and thousands are doing this about you, and can easily Google you, like, search up all your stuff, like, if you have kids, you have kids. Like,
facts.
Oh my gosh.
Like, regardless if it was like sperm donation, y'all had an affair, you had the kids naturally, or like, whether or not you were present and now you're not present, like whatever the stories are. But apparently it was very much like he was acting like they were his kids.
Oh my gosh.
And then he immediately
sudden,
like wiped and then went on Love is Blind.
All right. Well, at the moment, my personal bets are that Garrett and
Taylor
will get married, and Ashley and her man.
Okay.
I think those are only two. I don't think Ramses and Marissa are going to go through with it. Ramses is going to chicken out.
Okay.
That's my bet.
Heard.
Oh my gosh, I got to get my mom to watch it too, because oh my gosh. Oh, I was like so invested like this past week. Like, it's been everything to me.
You gotta
I'm
watch
so
it
glad
tonight.
you pushed me to watch it. Truly.
Yes.
I will.
You gotta watch it tonight. Because it's
that
only
felt
one
good.
episode. Yeah, it's only one episode.
Okay, it felt good to get all that out. And I feel like we agree on like all the same stuff.
Yes.
I'm so excited to do all the stalking now that once I watch this. That's the best part, is like going to their Instagrams, just like one by one.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't find Garrett's Instagram, but I found Taylor's.
Oh, okay.
And Taylor's is very cutesy.
Oh my gosh, I love her. I'm going to follow her. Like out of everyone, I will be following her.
Yes, like very cutesy. Like the picture with her hand up with the ring on. Aww. Like, so I love
her
them
dimples.
So much.
If
I know.
could have, oh my gosh.
Her freckles and the dimples.
The
you
things
just
I would do.
know that they're natural. I would
Amazing.
literally like chop off my left arm to have her skin.
Yes.
Like, no matter what product I put
like,
on my face.
Oh, they're like the cutest freak. Every time she smiled, I just like smiled.
No.
Because I'm like, imagine just having those on your face all the time and just like being that gorge.
And having perfect teeth.
Perfect hair. It always looked good. Like, she always looked put together. I loved all of her outfits. Like,
yep.
She is just a queen, and she's doing it. And they match just so amazingly.
So that means I officially hate her. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
No, but seriously, I'll follow her, and I'll probably follow, I guess, Ashley. Like, I'm gonna want to see what's going on.
Right?
TBH.
I know. I'm excited for the reunion.
Oh my god.
I'm hoping it's on the 30th.
30th. Okay, I'm putting my calendar.
So I'm hoping that's a Wednesday. That's next Wednesday. So I'm hoping that everybody is back. Like, everyone's there except for the people that like didn't get chosen, because there were a bunch of people that didn't get chosen.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that,
Oh my gosh, yes, please let the sleazy art dealer be there so we can see. And Steven's baby man looking
Ew.
He was like, thanks so much for like supporting me and like bearing the weight these past couple days, like with my job. And the next day he's like doing nasty things with this girl over text. Like, please.
And when he was like, I was drunk at a sleep study, apparently people were like,
whoa, what?
Yeah, people were like, I've done a sleep study and you can't drink because it skews the results. So
and
it's
he's like, I don't remember. Like,
I was like drunk at a sleep study and I got carried away. I'm like, no, you didn't. You didn't. Because you cannot get drunk at a sleep study. Hello? great.
She's like, did you text her today? Like, yes or no? He's like, I don't remember.
And then when she and then when she was like, and then he was like, I just deleted the message.
She's like, okay, great.
Yeah, she's like, Venmo me and get out. Like,
Literally, like, and do it in front of me.
yes,
Please.
Venmo me and get out. But when Taylor and Garrett came to comfort her,
I know, and Garrett was like patting her on the knee and just like being an affectionate man, just like like a friend, just like the perfect like girlfriend's boyfriend in the moment, just perfect.
I know. Oh my god,
I love them so much.
Me too.
Dude, they went to Arctic House, the place. That...
I know. I saw that. I was like, oh my god, we've been there.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god, wow.
So this is what it feels like.
We were in the same place that they were like 4 years ago. That's great.
Like, does a TikTok story time. Like, I was where they were. Like, yeah, that's how it felt when I saw that. I'm like, celebrity moment.
Right? I was like, oh my god, I've walked down the steps before. That's crazy.
I know, I saw them. Oh my gosh, that was so funny, dude.
I know.
Oh,
I love it.
I love it. Yeah, okay, well, I can't wait to watch it, and we'll just have to, like, reconvene. I really hate to tell the people that I was like, oh, we'll, just skip forward a little bit. If you don't want a spoiler, it's been, like, a good 30 minutes.
No, literally. At this point, it's just the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Because we're ending it here.
So, may as well just stop.
Yeah, so, anyway, we love y'all so much. We'll still put the timestamp, but we'll pretty much just say, like, hey... At this point, once we start talking about Love is Blind, like, you can just cut it if you don't want to hear spoilers.
Oh, that was so, like, therapeutic, though.
I know. Just, like, airing it. Like, I have no one to talk to about this. So as soon as you watch this episode, like, I have been, literally, when I saw that you were watching it, I was like, oh my god, I hope that she's all caught up, even including tonight, because there was, like, there's a moment that I just want to tell you about so bad, but I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
I'm gonna go watch it, like, RN.
Do it. I might be
Okay.
asleep when you send me reactions, so I'll wake up to them.
I'll send you a voice memo.
But yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Love you so much. Love you guys. Thanks for listening to another episode.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.